Previously on the Journey HQ.
I'm gonna try to mount these valves remotely and not on the tank.
It's compact. We'll have 4 bolts to take this whole unit out.
And my valves will actually fit back here now and out of the way so we can have them part of the tank too. So you unhook a couple of things and you can pull the whole assembly out as a unit. What's going on, everybody? It's another day back here at the shop, the Journey HQ. Chase is actually, he is out sick. He's got the old person virus. As much as they like to rag on me and talk trash because of my majestic salt and pepper hair here, Chase has shingles. So we're gonna be checking him into the nursing home next week, and they're gonna maintain his care from here on out. And while he's gone, I've got quite a few things to work on around the shop because we have a never-ending flow of projects. Since we last talked to you, I do believe you saw that we got a lift. We've got the lift in place where we want it. We have the airline ran dedicated for the lift. We've got power, we've got it all tied in, electricity's all hooked up, and the lift is working. We're just waiting on our anchor bolts and our shims to come in so we can bolt it to the floor and start using it. And let me tell you, dude, that is gonna be a freaking lifesaver. Laying on your back, all you guys know, laying on your back gets old fast, and it's nice to have a lift in the shop. Secondly, I've gotten my tank completely plumbed. Everything is tight, leak tested. I have a Schrader valve here on the top of the tank where you can fill it up with shop air. And everything's good minus the pressure switch here on the side of the tank. It's leaking around the pressure switch, but it's not at the threads. It's actually leaking at the housing. So we're just gonna have to order a new pressure switch for that. It's just probably been bowed up on too many times. I've got the whole assembly taken apart right now and got the brackets hanging up, got them painted yesterday. So I need to put all that back together. I need to put some Loctite in the holes to mount my compressors so those bolts don't back off from vibration. And then I built a little bracket for my relays, so it's installed, the grounds are on, and today we're gonna be putting this assembly back together, getting the air management system put back in the car, bolted in, start running my wires for the compressors, and then I have to run wires for all my valves. Man, it's just awesome to have this car out of the hole that it was in for so long. It's set over there in the corner because we just take on too much stuff and things get neglected, but I want to get this car back on the street. It's a cool looking car. Yes, it's a 4-door, but it's cool. So come along, man, and I'll kind of show you the process of how I put this thing together and get us one step closer to getting it back on the road. Start off, got to clean up this mess. You can see I got my mess cleaned up, got my brackets ready to go. So now I'm just gonna start reassembling all of the air tank and the compressors on their permanent homes, basically. Really, that's my next step, is to start assembling everything back onto the brackets and put it in their permanent home. Get it back in the car, then we can start running some wires. All right, guys, the next step in this process before we actually get this put in the trunk is I've cut some more of this rubber mat up. I've used that for my isolators between my compressors here. The factory ones that came on the compressors were dilapidated, and I'll see how well this works. But I also made a rubber mat to go under this whole assembly. I need to punch my holes in all 4 of these spots. They do sell a punch that you can use for this kind of stuff, but if you're in a bind, you can do what I did. And I took an old nut driver, it's a 3/8 nut driver, and I put it in the bench grinder and ground down the edges of it, sharpened it basically, and it works perfectly for a little punch. So that's what I'm gonna use to knock these holes out in this rubber, so check this out. Look, right through it. The only thing that sucks is you gotta dig out the little piece every single time. As you can see, got all my holes punched. Works really good. If you don't have the tool, there's always a tool you can make. All right guys, so when I last left off with you, we were getting the whole assembly put in the trunk and starting to bolt everything down. And what I've since done is I've gotten everything wired up. I've got my relay assembly in there. I still need to put wire loom on all of these wires. That's exactly what I'm gonna do now, is start doing wire loom. I'm gonna run new wires from the front to the back at another date. We gotta get some more wire. But the old wires are there, but I've just got me a temporary power wire so I can hook up to the pressure switch, which we have to replace also. And I can also test the valves out and make sure everything works. So our compressors are coming on, our switches are all working, the airbags are going up and down. So I'm gonna get this all cleaned up. We'll see if it all works. Everything goes up and down like it should. Temporary air lines for now because I want to do something a little nicer. Come on and check out this next part. I've got everything cleaned up in the trunk as much as I can right now. I still need to run new wires from the switches back to this assembly, but I don't want to do that just yet because we got a lot of work to do on the inside of the car, cleaning up the floorboards and such and such. I'm going to show you how this assembly works for now. Don't mind my temporary wires. It's just going to work. Check it out. If you look right here, I got a temporary wire ran to my battery and it's long, so I don't have to cut it. But this top of this pressure switch here needs a key on power. If not, if you have a leak, your compressors will run while your battery's going dead and your car's not running. So it goes to a key on power, but for now we're giving it straight power and it's not working. What the hell? Oh, there it goes. We're gonna let that gauge right there fill up and then I'll show you everything go up. Well, there you have it. I got it going up and down. Everything's working good enough now to move on to the next step in the process. We'll bring you back along and check out more of what's going on with this. We're gonna call it a Bel Air. I know it's a 210, be mad if you won't. But we're done with it for now, moving on to the next step. You guys remember, do what makes you happy, like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll catch you on the next one.